Hey everybody, my name is Wallace. I am a friendly vampire. I do think I'm a special vampire. The reason why I say I think I'm special for several reasons I won't talk about it in this video. For one, I'm nice. Not many vampires are out in the open and who want to help people and who are leaders and trained to be a leader by other leaders. Not many vampires are ethical and have morals and love people like I do. And not many vampires that who am I to say? I've only met a handful of vampires, but not many vampires don't really want anything, including like the obvious, like blood, power, sex, money. No, I'm like, no. I live a pretty humble lifestyle as far as money's concerned. I haven't drank blood since years and years and years ago. Haven't had sex in years. I'm a very independent person, but I've learned that for me, just having friends and people who love me and being humble, and I can transform into higher levels of vampirism, and to me, it's like not that big a deal, right? But some people they're like, oh, well, you're a spiritual being. You go out of your way to try to make me a better person at times. You try not to overstep. I can see that. Try not to overstep some people's boundaries, and try to do the right thing. And yeah, like to me, here's the thing. I have learned about very. I've spent, like I think of it like a video game, right? Like you have a character in a video game, and you can choose in this game. You can choose where you spend your points, and I've spent all of my points. Not all of my points, but I feel like I spend points into spirituality, and to me, it's not about understanding it. It's about being a part of it and being a person just like any other person. The only caveat to that is that, hey, look at me. I am a vampire who I think is special. I'm a nice guy. I got a lot of flaws, but like not flaws that I would really want to change. So, like, I feel like at times it's like, what am I doing here? But the thing is, as soon as I ask that question, I realize I'm living the dream. There are people who will see me at times. There's some people, and they just become happy. They become energized, happy, like wanting to celebrate. I realize I give meaning and familiarity to people, and I have a very magnetic personality. That's enough. I believe in God, believe in higher power, believe in spiritual things, spiritual beings, believe in magic, believe in vampires believe in. I have experience, training my vampire abilities and just working on myself. I believe in character development, people growing. We live in society. We live in a good society, and people were lucky. And I think people deserve happiness, peace, along with everything else. But I think that if I can better help intensify happiness and peace and love, those things, and spirituality, it brings me more. It brings me more spirituality. Brings me more humility and understanding. Teaches me. People teach me by being themselves, and I get to enjoy living a life of a normal human being. I'm lucky and fortunate that people have, at various stages of my life, had pity on me to see the struggle of being a vampire. One who does not do a lot of, I was going to say, a lot of things that you would consider a vampire to do. So, I'm very skilled, talented, I'm funny. But I'm, with all that being said, I've got a intelligent life form inside of me called a vampire. So, even though I may be I may think of myself as being good at something, it may not necessarily be the case. And because of this way of living for me, I have become very, very, very open to life just happening. Not being like how you want something to happen, but it may not happen. I live like that constantly. At every moment, every single breath, I say, I would want this to happen. I may want this to happen. I may like this to happen. But there's a 50% chance. There's a 50% chance at any given moment it may not happen. Or may happen differently. And imagine living like that. Imagine having a being inside of you. Imagine God being close to you. Imagine these things. You're living in a spiritual world. And accepting that. Not only accepting it, practicing it, embracing it, and being thankful for it. That pretty much sums up my life. I'm very blessed. I'm very loved, very blessed, and very kind. I could also be very, these are my boundaries. Please do not cross my boundaries. Because I'm human. Within moral, ethical, and societal guidelines, I think it's within those boundaries. I think it's absolutely important to feel how you feel. Within moral, ethical, societal boundaries. But yeah, don't drink blood. Haven't had sex in years. I don't like controlling people. like the idea of being in relationships, fair relationships, people loving people. I like the idea of that. And I love seeing people be themselves. But I also realize that due to societal constraints, and for good reason, we should not always be a certain version of ourselves. So, and there's good and bad to that, but I think it's mostly good because, I may have abilities as a vampire, but doesn't mean that at a certain time and place that it's appropriate. So I've learned to enjoy acting. But that also comes with being a vampire, being human. But I think the coolest thing about me and what I'm doing in my life is the impact I have on people. Some people. It's beautiful to see people happy. People who feel safe, feel happy, feel like they're learning something. People who are kind, respectful of boundaries and differences. It's amazing. I like to have fun. I like to hear people laugh. I like to laugh and have fun. But here's the thing. There's something about me. I've heard, I could go on the whole thing about this and say it's a character flaw, that I have been cursed, in this regard that I'm about to say, but I like being left alone. And people who have kind of grown up with over the years, they know that I like being alone. I'm not sure why. And if you could say that's a character flaw, or that if that may change, I feel so close to God when I'm alone. I feel closer to spirituality, and that is my greatest passion. I have had so much growth and development being alone. Having a mindset where I'm alone. Go home, I'm alone. Maybe out somewhere. May say hi to someone and then I'm alone. There's a peace there. I may have different psychological flaws, some past issues. I'm human. Maybe fixable. Well, that's fine. Like I said, I may want something or like something, and then in the next breath, in the next moment, it's different. Learn to accept that. I have no problem with that. The thing is that I'm just saying what I enjoy and what I'm inclined to enjoy. I don't really ever feel like I'm alone. All the spiritual stuff, every other day I may go to work and be around a bunch of people, active outside. I got the whole vampire relationship going on inside of me. It's like, I've got my spirituality. I believe in the spiritual connection to people. So it's like, I'm not really alone. Like, ever. But, you know, there's a part of living alone and being alone that is, I think people can understand and relate to. You know, just, you know, most of the time I want to say it's vampire related, but I don't think that's vampire related, honestly. So anywho, appreciate everybody, and we're gonna end the video here. Hope you all have a good night, and bye.